Hi there. Thanks for watching my views and news. Two news stories. Firstly, Mike Hammer has concluded his visit. He was in Addis Ababa. He met with federal government officials, Tigray leaders. Any breakthrough in Tigray political conflict? What did Mike Hammer say in meeting with Debretsion and Getachew? And secondly, more ENDF mobilization into Somalia. Somalia's defense ministry spokesperson confirmed new Ethiopian military activities in Somalia. Let's start, viewers, with the first story. It is about Mike Hammer. Mike Hammer is U.S. Special Envoy to the Horn of Africa. Is the one who played a key role on behalf of US government in facilitating dialogue between the warring parties in Ethiopia, and the warring parties agreed on a peace agreement in 2022. Peace agreement called Pretoria Deal is being implemented, though there are questions about its implementation. Parties to the Pretoria Deal, they have reservations about the way Pretoria Deal is being implemented. Mike Hammer and African Union, IGAD observers, they have to visit Ethiopia to ensure the implementation of Pretoria Deal. Mike Hammer was in Addis Ababa for around 3 days. He stayed in Ethiopia, held meetings with federal government officials. He met with Getachew to Tigray interim president. He held a meeting with the Western Gabriel Mikhail, TPLF chairman, and he met with General Sadkan Gabritensai too. After that, he talked to journalists and departed. Did he talk about political conflict in Tigray? Has he managed to achieve anything from his visit? Because the main point of his visit's agenda was about political conflict in Tigray, where interim government and TPLF Debretsion are uh, faced with each other, refusing to recognize each other as legitimate entities. Mike Hammer, in his talk, called for DDR first. DDR means disarmament, demobilization, and reintegration of Tigray fighters. Secondly, he called for the withdrawal of all non-ENDF forces. Non-ENDF means Amhara forces and Eritrean military from contested territories. Thirdly, he called for speedy return of IDPs. Fourthly, he said that yes, people of Tigray should elect their leaders. So in a way, indirectly, he called for speedy election in Tigray. What about political conflict in Tigray? He acknowledged political differences. He said political differences are there in Tigray, but he refused to comment about what he has achieved. He only said that both Debretsion, Gabriel Mikhail, Getachew are committed to peace. It seems that Americans are basically concerned about Ethiopia to the extent of prevention of war. They don't want resumption of an armed conflict in Ethiopia. They don't want Pretoria to collapse. And since the parties to political conflict in Tigray are calling into question Pretoria Deal, that is why Mike Hammer was quick to come to Ethiopia. And he told TPLF and the Debretsion Getachew groups that no war is acceptable to Americans, but he failed to find any political solution between the two sides. TPLF, Debrecen, TPLF, Getachew. Americans are not in the mood of facilitating extensive discussions between two TPLF rival factions. This matter, I think, will have to be solved by Tigray. Federal government perhaps would like this uncertainty to continue in Tigray. Americans, they don't have the potential, I think, or they don't have the interest, if it's the right word. They don't have the interest. They don't want to involve themselves so deeply that they should uh, make Getachew, Debrecen sit at the table. Though this is what should happen, I believe, because Getachew and Sadkan have gone so far that I don't think that on their own they can come close and join talks. It does not seem very likely. One player in Tigray is trying to restore normalcy, and that is Tigray Security Force, led by Tadase, where the even Tigray Security Force is becoming controversial as well. Some are questioning the neutrality. Federal government not really interested in brokering a deal between Getachew and Debrecen. Americans not interested. I believe that Mike Hammer's visit achieved nothing about efforts to end political turmoil in Tehran. But let's wait. We'll have to see. This is what I have learned, which I shared with you. Secondly, viewers, more ENDF mobilization is being reported into Somalia on Ethiopia-Somalia border. And now it is being confirmed by Somalia's government officials too. Abu Bakr Muhammad is Somalia's defense ministry spokesperson. Around 48 hours ago, in an interview, he confirmed new Ethiopian military maneuvers or military moves in Bakul. In Bay, not in Bakul. Bakul is in southwest state. Not in Bay or Bakul, but in Gaidu. Both Bay and Bakul are in southwest state. But Abu Bakr Muhammad mentioned Gaidu, Jubbaland, where Ethiopian military has consolidated its control of airstrips. People call them airports too, small airports, airstrips. So Abu Bakr Muhammad confirmed new ENDF mobilization in Gaidu. Apart from Abu Bakr Muhammad's confirmation, what we have learned is that ground forces, ENDF's ground forces are also being, let me, ENDF's ground forces are also being mobilized, and deployment along Gaidu has been noticed. It means ENDF is stepping up its military mobilization, military movements along Ethiopia, Somalia border. Somalia is watching all these developments very closely. What will it do? It remains to be seen. I did a video last time. I told you about how imminent is Ethiopia-Somalia war. I told you that in Bay, Bakul, Gaidu, Heron, ENDF troops deployed are part of ATMOS. ATMOS troops, Ethiopian ATMOS troops will have to leave. Who will replace them? Egyptian troops. If Egyptian troops enter there, it would be unacceptable to Ethiopia. Let's see what happens. Thank you for watching.